Rasil, you want the full name?
Sure.
Rasil Singh Basu. Today is the 3rd February 2014. I was 59. I was working in the United Nations. I was in New York in my apartment, and I heard the news. I saw it on TV, and I just sat there and burst into tears. It was a very moving time for me. I couldn't get over it. I was in Delhi then. I'd come a few days earlier, and I'd gone to visit a friend of mine in House Khas, a school friend. And there she said, "Did you know Mrs. Gandhi has been shot?" It was pre-noon. And I said, "No." She said, "News has just come in, and she's been rushed to the hospital." And we waited for more news, but it was being repeated. And she said, "I think you better go home, because there might be mobs and crowds." So I came home. It was still very quiet. And I came upstairs. I was staying with my brother, Patwant, and he told me he'd heard the news. He'd also heard her condition was very serious. Then there were phone calls coming from many friends. And in fact, some of the neighbors who are from different embassies said, "You're not safe, you better." Told my brother, "My board wasn't here because I wasn't living here. You take your board away. They'll see a Sikh name and, you'll be at risk." He said, "No, nothing doing." And they said, the Swedish ambassador, he said, "I want you to come move to the Swedish embassy." And the Swiss also offered us asylum, because by that time they were beginning to think that maybe she wouldn't make it. But we stayed put, and we saw smoke coming out from the neighborhood. They had already started burning buses and trucks of Sikhs. So, but the street was quiet. Not really. No, they weren't hurt. But every one of my family and friends were traumatized, totally traumatized. My brother suffered a lot of damage. Not here in Delhi, but we had a farmhouse in Haryana. And we also had started a hospital. We had a family trust, and we had a hospital near a village called Gamroj. And there the looters and marauders, all from the Congress party, in trucks with big cans of kerosene oil, went to loot and destroy property belonging to Sikhs. And I had never lived in my farmhouse. I had just come to see how it was, because I knew I'd return in a year. But my uncle lived there, my father's brother, and he supervised the construction. He fortunately had left a day before, because he heard of some possibility of violence. So that's what happened. A few days after the killing, a number of American and European journalists came, and they knew Patwant. They came to see him. and Patwant asked me to take them to the hospital and the house to see what was going on. So I took them to the hospital. The first story we had heard, that they had gone there, they'd forced their way open, the gate was closed, to see if there are any Sikh doctors or patients. And they were told, no, there are none. It so happened that we had a Sikh doctor, a young doctor, who worked there, but he had heard of what was happening, and he had been evacuated on a stretcher in an ambulance. His hair was let loose and he was covered, so they couldn't get him. There were no other Sikhs. Then they had gone to my brother's house, looted there. They took furniture, they took artwork. He had a cow and a calf. He took them all. And they went to my house, and that they totally shattered. They burnt all the woodwork, so even the stones collapsed. It was a stone house. And then when I went with the journalists, I showed them the houses, the hospital, and then I said, I'll take you. They wanted to go to the police station, and there's a small Gurdwara there. So we went there. At the police station, they're all sitting and drinking cups of tea and smoking in my brother's furniture, sofas, all there. I said, but these are not yours. They are my brother's. They said, oh, we brought them here to protect them. That was the protection. We never saw them again. And his cow and calf were there, going to the police station. So that's the story I can tell you, my personal experience. It affected me very much because I'd always thought of myself as an Indian, and the thought that, you know, I couldn't live in my own country, I couldn't enjoy my own home. I mean, that was very disturbing. And I went, one thing I'd like to mention, before this happened, I went to the Golden Temple to Amritsar to see the damage they had done, and bullet marks everywhere. And it was really shocking. I think the scars it left will never heal. I mean, I can occupy myself with other things to do, but they're always there and will remain. I think it was very political. You know, the majority thought that the Sikhs are getting too powerful, and let's teach them a lesson. And everything was misconstrued. The Sikhs had very legitimate grievances after partition, and then again the subdivision of Punjab into 3 states, and the water distribution. But they were all twisted to tell the people that they wanted to break away. They wanted to create Khalistan, which was never ever the intention, you know. So I think it was for very selfish political reasons. One thing I can add, that after that, my daughter and son-in-law came here just at the time when this happened, and we all went to the camps, and we put the resources of our trust and to work there.